Respecting property, a la Shmoop. You and your roommate are in your car driving home from a birthday party. Well, normally you wouldn't let anyone drive your baby. Seriously, look at her. She's automatic, she's systematic, she's hydromatic, she's, Anyway, point is, she's your pride and joy. But you spent all night dancing your heart out, and now, well, you're pretty exhausted. So you ask your roommate if she'd be willing to take the keys and drive home. You know, she'll respect your car and drive it carefully. What's the worst that could happen? Didn't see that one coming. Well, when you finally get out of the moving death trap, you angrily demand your keys back. Your roommate doesn't see why you're so worked up. She sees no problem with the way she drove, and as a matter of fact, she's upset with you for insinuating she's a bad driver. She's huffing and puffing enough to rival the big bad wolf himself and thinks you're overreacting. You're tired and in no mood to argue, so you toss your keys on the table and go to bed. Well, when you wake up the next morning, you notice your keys are gone, and surprise, surprise, so's your car. You text your roommate demanding to know where she is, and she replies that she's meeting up with a friend and needed transportation. You don't mind, do you? Yikes. So clearly, Aretha needs to go back and cover the basics of RESPECT, specifically when it comes to respecting someone else's property. Let's go over what your roommate did wrong so we never make the same mistakes. Being trusted enough to borrow a car comes in handy when you're in dire need of an In-N-Out burger. So was your roommate destructive of your property? Check. You're still not quite sure how this happened, but it happened. If you're not treating someone else's property as carefully as you treat your own, well, who you gonna call? Chances are, if someone spent money on something, they don't want you treating it like a piece of garbage. So don't do that. But let's say it's too late for that. You've already treated someone's property poorly. Should you be dismissive of their complaints and tell them it's not your problem, it's that they're overreacting? Yeah, that's what we thought. Now, always apologize if you're in the wrong. Showing remorse might not make you trustworthy again, but it might get you out of the doghouse a few days sooner. And finally, never ever take someone else's property without asking if it's okay first. Duh, if we walked into your house and took your phone, chances are you'd be pretty ticked off. Don't be that person. No one likes that person. We know sharing is caring, but that only goes for when something is shared voluntarily. Don't assume you can take what isn't yours. Duh. And if you are lucky enough to be considered trustworthy, treat that person's property the way you'd want them to treat yours. Is this so complicated? Seems pretty simple to us. But if for some reason you forget, well, yeah, we've got ways to remind you.